best friend. This is the book which was written by Dr. Paul Hug. Many people feel guilty and inadequate about putting themselves first. But if you show love, caring, and attention to person close to you, why not to yourself? You will add great joy to your life by looking after yourself and your interests. Being your own best friend is the most sensible thing you can do. Those who look after their interests have better control over their lives and far better in this world than those who don't. They are the real winners. Those are the facts of life, not conditions that are necessarily fair. If you want a reasonable amount of fulfillment in this world, you had better observe the way world is actually run. Learn to be firm and assertive when life is so demands. Put yourself first. That is the message of the book. Art of Enlightened Self-interest. It is within the power of anyone with average intelligence who is reasonably practical to take control of his life and to get much more out of it. There really is no need for you to continue to be your worst enemy. I want you to try and imagine that your life is about to draw to a close. You are lying on your deathbed, reflecting on what you have achieved. Ask yourself if you have really enjoyed life. Are you glad you were born? Have you had a good time? Are your friends and loved ones truly sorry to see you go? And will you be missed? If you could live your life all over again, would you live it in exactly the same way? Can you in all honesty say to yourself, it's been nice, it's been exciting, I made the most of it? If you can, you do not suffer what I call self-neglect. Ask most people what they understand by self-neglect, and they will tell you things like not brushing your teeth twice a day, not visiting the dentist every 6 months, or not taking regular baths. Although these aspects of self-neglect are obviously important, in this book I will be using the term in such a wider sense. In brief, people who suffer from self-neglect feel guilty about taking the slightest interest in themselves. As a consequence of this, they get depressed. They don't enjoy good health. They fail to use their money wisely. They let others trample all over them. They have a few, if any, friends. They do not get the best out of life. Life, in fact, passes them by. In this book, then, I set out to help you how to overcome the problem of self-neglect. You will learn the art of enlightened self-interest. You may well think that I am taking on the impossible, that I have bitten off more than I can chew. Well, ask yourself this: just what is it that marks out those who live contented lives and make the most of their talents and resources from the rest who don't? Perhaps they are endowed with some special gift which you are either lucky to have been born with or not. Not so, they are human just as you. In 30 years of observing human behavior as a clinical psychologist, I have come to the conclusion that it is within the power of anyone with average intelligence who is reasonably practical to take control of his life and to get much more out of it. The behavior trends that prevents us from doing this can be reduced to only a few categories, provided you follow a few straightforward guidelines. You too can do it. There really is no need for you to continue to be your worst enemy. First, it is important that you learn to be able to think for yourself. We look at the reason why people fail to do this. They are trained not to think because of their upbringing or childhood training, fear of rejection, self-distrust, laziness, or sometimes they let others do their thinking for them. You must take courage and refuse to behave like sheep. Second, you must learn to avoid the kind of thinking which is faulty. Those who are naive or fanatical can be said to be prone to faulty thinking, as are those whose thinking is dominated by certain myths and superstition, which they go through life accepting without question. We look at these things. They don't, in fact, stand up to detailed scrutiny. Third, you must learn to master such harmful neurotic emotions as depression, anger, fear, and jealous, and to avoid procrastination. Much of this is based on the work of Dr. Albert Ellis' theory of rational emotive therapy. Ellis identified a number of irrational beliefs which cause us to experience certain emotional conditions. We list these and try to overturn them. Fourth, you must learn how to stand up for yourself to avoid excessive tolerance or passivity. How happy you are depends to a large extent on the degree of cooperation, respect, and love you get from other people, provided that you can assert yourself without giving in to certain harmful emotions. You will learn easily to get and maintain the cooperation, respect, and love of those who matter to you. Fifth, in developing the social skills you need to get and maintain friends, you must learn to overcome shyness and to avoid aggression and self-centeredness. Finally, you must learn to look after your health and wealth. You cannot grasp all I have to offer from a single reading, and do not write off any of my ideas which may seem far-fetched or impractical until you have tried them. I speak from experience, not speculation. Imagine yourself on your deathbed again. Wouldn't you like to look over your life and pronounce it a job well done? Thank you for watching this video.